We obviously knew that Liko and friends would attempt to rescue the heroes eventually, and that Charcadet would evolve into Armarouge at some point in the near future. However, I didn't think these things would happen this soon and together. In episode 124, Liko and friends alongside Amethio, Onia and Zirc will raid the headquarters of the explorers in order to rescue the heroes. And since the explorers obviously won't just sit idly by and let this happen, there will be battles, with Indy and Rubina and several grunts facing Liko and Amethio and Roy and Ult respectively, with the former battle being the far more interesting and exciting one since it features Charcadet wearing the auspicious armor Diana gave it in the previous episode, which obviously means that it will evolve in this battle and episode. Normally, I would say that an evolution is likely to happen, because it's never guaranteed that a Pokemon will evolve in a given episode, which is why I usually just make predictions based on previews, episode titles, etc. But in this case, there is no speculation, there is no maybe. Charcadet will for sure evolve because in the games, a Charcadet evolves the moment it is exposed to a malicious or auspicious armor. So Charcadet just wearing the auspicious armor should be enough for it to evolve. But clearly Horizons will take some creative liberties here to make the evolution more dramatic, since having Charcadet just evolve immediately after putting on the armor would be a bit anticlimactic. Having it battle while wearing it, which makes it look adorable since the armor is too big for it, and having it evolve after battling hard in a tough, important battle and alongside Ceruledge is a lot more powerful, memorable, and fitting. So I think they definitely made the right choice. I have to say that knowing that Charcadet is about to evolve into Armarouge brings me great joy, since the prediction I made over 2 years ago will finally come true, or rather it will fully come true, since of course the first 2 parts of it, Liko catching Charcadet and the parallels between them and Amethio and Ceruledge were already realized back in episodes 102 and 104. Seeing my long-range predictions come true is something that never fails to feel amazing and magical. Now beyond Charcadet and its evolution, I think it's worth discussing the fact that this episode feels kind of sudden considering where episode 123 ended, and that this conflict is not one that can be resolved in just one episode. The previous episode ended with Diana giving Liko and Charcadet the auspicious armor after arriving to save the Rising Bolt Tacklers from Petarant. I just don't see how we go from this to suddenly knowing where the headquarters of the explorers is and raiding it with Amethio, Onia and Zirc, who we haven't seen in a while. It feels like we skipped an episode. I don't doubt that they got the location of the headquarters from the data Dot and Penny procured in episode 120, or from one of the former members of the Explorers. However, surely assaulting said headquarters requires a certain degree of planning, preparation, and coordination, especially since Amethio and company would have to get in contact and potentially meet up with Liko and company. But it seems this episode will sidestep all of this in order to take us right into the action, even if it feels jarring. Now granted, it could also be that this preamble is in the episode, just not in the preview because it obviously wouldn't be as exciting as the rest of the episode, and the previews are meant to hype us up. This is especially likely if, like I presume, this conflict is not resolved in one episode. With 2 or more episodes, they can totally spend some time on the lead up to the operation without sacrificing pacing or screen time for the more exciting moments. The reason why I think that there will be a part 2 and potentially more is that it's suspicious that Horizons just came back from its usual end-of-year break with episode 123, and yet episode 124 won't air on January 16. It will air on the 23rd instead, because Horizons is taking a week break. Taking another break so soon makes me believe that they needed more time for what's to come, suggesting that we are in for quite a treat, or that we can expect something decent at least. I doubt one episode would be taxing enough to demand taking another break. If they are cooking up 2+ episodes, then it makes more sense. I wouldn't even be surprised if they take another break after episode 124. Now granted, maybe I'm looking too deep into this. Maybe the break is due to something else entirely. But I'd rather have the former be the case, since I'm perfectly fine with waiting longer if it means we will get something special and high quality. Finally, the preview does not show Spinel, Chelsea, Coral, or Sidian, which is odd since you would think that at least one of them would be present at headquarters to oversee things, especially if the heroes are here. But again, maybe the preview simply doesn't show them, so they could still make an appearance, especially if this affair does take place across more than one episode. They could totally be key to the second episode. Speaking of the heroes being here, surely the explorers have more than one base or hideout, right? So this could totally be the wrong place, because how would Liko and company know for sure this is the place? I guess one of the former members of the explorers could have found this out somehow, or it was in the data Dot and Penny got. But what if they were fed the wrong information, or if the explorers realized what they were up to and moved the heroes? I mean, they know Dot stole data from them and that they were betrayed by multiple people. This wouldn't be the first time that Spinel and Chelsea are one step ahead. It's very telling that the heroes are also not in the preview. If the heroes are not here, then maybe one episode will be enough, since this won't be as climactic as it appears to be. Simply a raid and clash that ends up being mostly pointless. This would explain why we are getting this now, despite it feeling like it's too soon. This also means that Charcadet might not necessarily evolve in this episode, since they might want to save this for a moment that is truly definitive and impactful. Now yes, this obviously doesn't seem feasible, since again, just wearing the armor should be enough to make it evolve. But considering that they clearly won't have it happen immediately like it would happen in the games, they can totally delay it as much as they want and have it happen when they want. I could definitely see this being a sort of test run. Charcadet tries its best to battle with an armor that clearly looks like it's too heavy for it, meaning it would make it difficult to move properly, only to fail, forcing it to train so that it can get to the point where it can battle freely and competently while wearing its new set of armor. At which point, it earns the right to evolve. It's like a character mastering a new weapon or piece of equipment that is initially too much for them to wield for whatever reason in order to achieve something magnificent. But yeah, this episode has the potential to be fantastic, thoroughly exciting, and greatly entertaining. Though it could also be just decent or alright. It all depends on how exactly everything plays out, what exactly happens, and how many episodes are allotted to this specific, seemingly major event. We of course won't know for sure what will happen until the episode airs on January 23. Once it does, I will of course review it eventually, so please stay tuned for that. Also, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited for this episode? Will Charcadet evolve? Do you think they will really find the heroes here? And will there be a part 2 or even a part 3? If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, feel free to click the links on screen. And if you'd like to support the channel and help me keep making content like this, you can find all the ways to do so in the description and in the pinned comment. Whether it's through a small donation or just watching and sharing, every bit of support means the world to me. Thank you so very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.